Hey everybody, and welcome to the Multiverse Show, Season 4, Episode 1, post-reboot. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to start with actually a fairly smaller panel today, because we have actually a ton of news we got to cover, and we get very little time to actually do so. So we're going to go through our regular spiel here. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Multiverse Show live on Monday nights at 8 p.m. For those of you watching the recording, uploaded on Tuesday nights on Spotify and other podcast streaming services. We will be uploading the show on Tuesday nights as soon as this completes on YouTube Live. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a lot of things to cover in very little time, so we actually have a smaller panel tonight, so that'll work in our favor here. First off, we have the Caesar Cinema, Mr. James Wilson.
Oh, the Caesar Cinema is so ready to go back to the cinema. I've had a couple journeys to watch some Nolan films. I saw Interstellar a couple of days ago, and I'm fresh off the back of watching The Dark Knight in the cinema for the very first time. Never got to see it in the cinema in its initial run, so it's a pleasure to see it. We got loads of movie news, so I'm going to be busy as hell tonight.
Yep, there's tons of things to cover. We also have the White Wolf, Mr. Samuel Tolbert.
It's good to be back with a couple of my bros, and there's tons of gaming news, which obviously is my forte, but I'm just as excited to go over this movie stuff as well, because we'll get into it.
Yep, that's true. And myself, Ivan Seiler, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, a lot of things to cover, very little time, but real quick, as we had this little break over the summer, what have you guys been playing? Sam, we'll start with you.
I've been playing a ton of stuff in addition to the never-ending grind for Gears 5 cosmetics. Operation 4 is still well underway. Got several weeks left. I platinumed Ghost of Tsushima, and I could talk about that game for a long time in terms of what's good, what's bad, but I'll say this. Sucker Punch knew they had two things going for: the art direction and the combat. Those two elements are stellar. Like, I'm not really a fan of the villain, and the story isn't really interesting until the second half. And yeah, like, the mission structure is a little dated in terms of, like, okay, I did this in Assassin's Creed back in 2009, you know what I mean, in terms of tailing missions or whatever. But, dude, the combat just feels good. Like, it feels stellar. Dancing and bobbing and weaving with a katana and the ninja tool. So, like, it got to the point where 40 hours later, I had the platinum. And I loved it, in spite of its many flaws. So, good note for the PS4 to go out on.
All right, nice. James, you get a chance to play anything?
Nothing crazy new. I've been playing tons of Fall Guys. I think all of us have. I've won 3 shows, which I didn't think that was very good. And then I'm seeing all the people on Twitter who are really struggling, and now I think I'm not like MLG 420 no scope good at Fall Guys, but I'm pretty good.
All right, nice.
Any new games, I've been continuing playing F1 2020, which by the end of the year I think might be the most I've played a game, and I'm very, very excited for that to be the case. I'm now driving for Mercedes F1. None of you know what that means, but it's very good.
All right, that's awesome. Myself, I haven't played all too much, at least recently. Kind of bouncing around, playing Fortnite, namely just because of actually our first topic for tonight. But there's been a couple other things I've been playing around with. What else is there? Played more Fallout 76 as usual. Finally finished Untitled Goose Game. Finally got around to that. Played a little Rainbow Six Siege. Just little things here and there, kind of just jumping all over the place. So, been lots of fun. But we got a lot of cool things we got to cover. So first off, we're actually going to talk about the oldest piece of news we have on the docket today. Was actually about this little tiff that started between Epic and Apple. And I kind of want to go over into some of that. Sam, do you want to kind of like set the stage here for like what's been going on prior to this little issue?
Yeah, I can, but duly warned, like we have so much to go through, so I'm gonna give a really short rundown of this issue. The very, very simple nutshell version is that Epic baited Apple because Apple only allows payments to go through Apple systems. That's it. You can't circumvent it, and no direct payment. You can on Android, but not through the Google Store. You have to sideload it on a different app. Anyways, We're focusing on Apple. There is stuff going on with Google, but we're going to focus on the Apple portion of this because that's the big one. Apple gets their 30% cut on everything, every in-app purchase. So Epic broke the rules and allowed, hey, do you want to do direct purchases to us? And it'll be cheaper that way because we don't have to supply the Apple cut. So, the microtransactions, the V-Bucks, were cheaper to purchase that way. Naturally, a couple of hours later, Apple shut it down. Epic responds with this massive pre-written campaign with their lawyers, filing an injunction against Apple, filing suit really, saying that it's anti-competitive and unfair consumer practice, and this video mocking Apple's 1984 parody, of George Orwell's 1984 with a big Apple. I'm serious, in Fortnite. This was streamed directly into Fortnite as a big event, as they do, and it's wild, man. It's absolutely wild.
I want to jump in with that parody is dumb as hell. Carry on.
Yeah, fair enough. But and also the target audience isn't going to get it. That's another thing. Like, you would need to be twice as old as the average Fortnite player to probably understand it. But there you go. So this happened. Hearings happened today. And that kind of, in a very nutshell version, brings us to where we are now. Apple wants to keep the status quo. Epic wants to go around Apple's purchases because they don't want to pay Apple their 30% cut. Mm-hmm. That's how simple it is.
I kind of want to get you guys' impressions on the whole thing initially, because when I jump into this, I'm pulling out my business law, minor out. Like, all right, let's go into it. I know I'm going to talk for a while, but I'll let you guys get in your thoughts first about this.
James, you want to say anything?
I mean, it seems pretty dumb. That is the overwhelming message that I sort of get from this thing. In the long run, it doesn't. I understand that this could become an incredibly important and massively big moment in the history of gaming. Years from now, this sort of like the weird Trolls World Tour. This weird battle was, the battle lines were drawn over this weird thing. God, it's 10 minutes past 1. I'm already losing it. Yeah, no, it's pretty stupid, and just everyone can just be nice to each other.
Yeah. James, Sam?
I'm much more insightful when you ask me about the lighting in a movie. That's what I'm doing, guys.
Yeah, real quick, it's a $1 billion company versus a $1 trillion company, so it's not like I'm going to be winning either way. What I'll say is this: if Epic wins, things will be better for developers in theory. It means better, cuts, developers getting a better cut of their profits, from in-app purchases or games sold, whatever. However, at the same time, wow, Epic is setting a bad precedent in terms of the kinds of stuff they're doing and the way they did this hashtag free Fortnite movement. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know. It's a mess. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to kind of set the stage this way. With this particular situation, what's going on behind the scenes is a little more important to answer. The situation between Epic and Apple is this. Apple mandates to every app developer that all payments has to go directly through Apple. Now, what they do is they claim a 30% cut of any sale that's done through their app store. Since everything has to go through Apple, they get a 30% cut of everything. The way they justify this is to say it's a payment processing fee, that 30% of that is for payment processing. So that is what they generally tend to justify their existence. But really, in terms of the nuts and bolts of it, we all understand this is about access. That this is about, hey, you guys want to be on our app store, you want to have it being featured, you want to be in here with the best, you got to pay up to have your thing on our platform. It's normally the same kind of thing as between like console developers and such. Now, what makes this very interesting is that Epic is going specifically after Apple using the Sherman Antitrust Act, which, if you don't know anything about U.S. law, it's a law that was it was rather a case that initially started, but it's a law that initially passed saying you can't have a monopoly on any particular business. Now, this has been used once before, specifically against Microsoft. Microsoft got in a bit of a trouble last, it was 20 years ago now.
It was a long time, yeah.
Wow, I feel really old at this point. There was a case that was the U.S. versus Microsoft, and that saying on PCs, Microsoft made it really difficult to have any other, not only search engine, but any other internet browsing group other than Internet Explorer. They made it unbelievably difficult to install Chrome or Safari or whatever else you want to use.
Rest in peace, Internet Explorer, by the way.
Yeah. But it's bizarre, honestly. And so what happened was that they actually lost that case because they said it was too much. There was too much. It was too difficult. You're making an unnecessary barrier of entry to allow competitors onto their hardware. They won that case. I think that's specifically what Epic is banking on in their case with Apple. Now they do have a lawsuit against Google as well, because Google did the same thing, I think an hour or two after Apple, but the focus has largely been on Apple. Google has done this, but they're not using the antitrust option there because actually the phone developers in particular have the option to have other platforms, like Samsung notably has the Samsung Store or the Galaxy Store, whatever they call it. But it is an option that barely anybody uses. So on the flip side, it is competition there. What they're saying is that, you're charging 30% to be on the Google Play Store. That's not a fair payment processing fee. That's gouging. So that's what their case is hinging on there. But specifically, the one with Apple is very interesting because if they win this case, this could drastically change the outcome across all of gaming, not just mobile phones or whatever. Because this means that Apple would have to sacrifice their hardware monopoly, at least the software monopoly of their hardware, to allow competition on that hardware. Now, this could potentially be used to say, you have to now allow competition on your PlayStation. You now have to allow competition on your Xbox. You may own the hardware.
Really quick.
Yep.
If you don't mind. Okay, I get what you're saying, and you're absolutely correct, but Epic has explicitly stated in their filings that they aren't as concerned with console manufacturers, and they are okay with that cut, because they said, this is a direct quote, they believe console manufacturers actually do a good job curating a simple, elegant user experience that more than justifies the 30% cut. An experience they do not believe Android or Google, and especially not Apple. Apple do not provide. Sorry, had to interject that.
I understand that, but I'm saying, at least in a legal sense, this can be used as justification against other groups. So Epic may not be the ones to use it, but others would be able to use it against others. So this is a very interesting problem if this actually happens. Now, in terms of the mobile space, it's allowing more competition, which we generally agree the more competition leads to better products and just things in general along those lines. Now, what makes this especially interesting to me is, why does Epic care? So for me, the ultimate question anytime something happens is why? Why is this happening? So why does Epic care? If they really cared about trying to get more money out of the situation, I mean, with their current setup, the Apple portion is what was it? It's 30. It's 30%. What they're doing, for just so you get an idea, they did pass on savings to the consumer. For V-Bucks, if you want to get something that's normally a $10 package, they're doing it for $8. So you save $2 by going directly through Epic, is what they were promising. But they actually are making more money off of that. Now, I'm not sure if the margin is necessarily large enough to justify going on a legal case, necessarily. But for them, I personally think this is just them testing the waters to see if they can offer or move over the Epic Games Store to other avenues if they so choose. Especially if they win that case, that opens up a lot of pathways saying, you have your own private hardware, you have to allow us on your system. If we want to open up shop on your platform, you have to let us be a competitor. That would be very interesting to see. That's more speculation than anything else, but this is a very interesting case. We're probably not going to get anything out of it for the next at least 1 year, probably 2 or 3. We're not going to hear anything about it. This may even go to the Supreme Court. I really don't know. But this is going to be a landmark case if this goes any farther. I know right now Apple actually fired back this morning. They said, Tim Sweeney is actually not as altruistic as he wants you to believe. He did ask for a exception to the policies through Apple, but he did throw in a line that with those exceptions, he wants those exceptions to be made open to other developers on through the App Store, and it's the idea is that they're trying to go after credibility's sake. But it's been a very weird thing. We're probably not going to talk about this for a while unless there's another major development, but I want to make sure we at least talked about it in some capacity because it is a very important topic. So, other than that, we do have a couple other topics we do need to discuss, but it's all related to the same thing. It's a great mixture of movies and games and all this great stuff with DC fandom that happened over the weekend. A lot of really cool stuff. We did talk about video games for a while and a lot of legal stuff. We're going to let James take over in our movie corner and take over the topics here related specifically to film. And even TV stuff. So James, what did we see? What did we DC from DC fandom?
Oh, well done. We saw so many things. We're not even I don't think we're even halfway through the full DC fandom event. This is going to go on for another couple weekends. The major stuff, if we're talking about movies and the DC extended universe or world of DC, whatever they want to call their extended universe. We saw a new Wonder Woman trailer, which confirms the suspicion that Kristen Wiig is playing Cheetah, and she looks great. What do you guys think of that?
I gotta see the picture again. 1 minute. I will pull that up real quick.
While he does that...
While you do that, no, Sam, yeah, jump in.
My opinion is really simple. I liked the first Wonder Woman. I thought the first act was pretty good. Second act was killer. Third act was it was the weakest by far. I'm looking forward to this. I think Gal Gadot is a good Wonder Woman. And
I agree with you, but I think the weak third act in that Wonder Woman movie is better than a lot of acts in a lot of other superhero movies,
especially DC films. 100%.
Yeah, I think I'll vividly remember a bunch of different stuff in that Wonder Woman film, especially the No Man's Land moment.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant.
You can only dream about having a moment like that.
Yeah,
Marvel, for all their pomp and circumstance, doesn't really have a lot of those. DC have got quite a few in their first opening films. People like to make fun of the DC films because some of them are really bad, including Justice League. Now, the Snyder Cut is real, but it isn't real because it's not a movie. So people keep saying it's a movie, and yet it's 4 hours long, and it's going to be released in individual episodes. That to me sounds like a mini series. What do you think about that, Sam?
That sounds to me like a mini series.
Yeah. It's not a fucking movie. Stop saying it's a movie. I hate it. I hate it so much. I try to be really positive about film because I know how much work goes into every single second. I know how many people spend 16-hour days doing jobs that are difficult for everyone, especially even at the top of their game. Having said that, this film is the embodiment of everything that is wrong about the modern movie industry. It is kowtowing to annoying, loud people who think that because they have a voice, think they absolutely need to have it heard. I despise the Justice League. The Snyder Cut Justice League movie. I just am so done with everything. And the audacity to use that piece of music again, Zach.
I'll go on record saying I don't like that song. I've been forced to listen to it too many times at so-called talent shows, unquote, quote unquote. So I hate that song.
I like the song.
I didn't even watch the trailer for it. I don't even know what song you're talking about.
They used
I mean
they use Hallelujah again.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
So I'll say that. And here's the thing. I understand where you're coming from, James. I really do. But I'm still looking forward to this, and I'm gonna watch it.
But it looks the same.
It doesn't though. Like there's a ton of new stuff.
It looks, but the new stuff looks like the old stuff.
Steppenwolf doesn't look stupid anymore.
No, but he still looks bad. And then there was a picture of Darkseid, and I don't read the comics because I don't want to. And I haven't seen any of the cartoons because I just didn't really watch them when I grew up. And so I saw this dude. I'm like, all right, alien dude. And then someone, this is all on Twitter with a guy called Matthew Farrelly, who's a great upcoming film critic, of explaining, oh, this is Darkseid. He's great. And my response was, okay, if he's so great and so important to this film, why the hell don't I know about him? And I've seen Justice League.
Because they were teasing. That's the whole point.
But if he's the villain of this movie, how badly did they mess up?
This is why I don't believe this is real. I think a lot of stuff with the Snyder Cut in particular, that was more like, oh, people hated this movie, and so like there was no Snyder Cut. There was nothing like that was like ready to go or anything. And so then it was like, with the building momentum, it was like, well, what if we did do that? Like, or what if we just say this is what we originally had planned and what we were going to do, and we have an opportunity to fix the movie?
Yeah, it pisses me off.
And we're going to say this was the original plan. Like, no,
I hear you, but I would also cautiously point out, James, that a lot of the actual actors and actresses are happy to work under Snyder and not Whedon, and say that he butchered or destroyed a lot of what they were happy about in the original cut.
I've got no problem with like the directors, and I've got on record that everything I've heard about Zack Snyder is that he's a lovely guy who's really passionate about the work that he does.
I know what you're going at, and I respect it. I don't agree with you, but I do respect where you're coming from on this. I want that clear.
Considering we had that trailer, and then we had what is one of the best movie trailers I've seen in a really long time, came out like an hour later.
Oh, so we're getting to that then, I presume?
Oh, yeah. We will. Right. You know what? Actually, no. We will get to that because we should talk about Suicide Squad briefly.
Let's get to the trailer that wasn't a trailer.
It's a sizzle reel. It's the best way to announce it. Those of you who haven't seen it, it is little clips of the movie, not in context. Also clips from the behind the scenes. You can see them of like the people behind blue screens and in visual effects suits and all that, and some talking heads from James Gunn and choice cast members talking about the new tone of the Suicide Squad, which is a sequel to the last one. They haven't recast anyone. They've got new people in. It's a whole thing. We still don't really know the story beyond the obvious. Yeah, it's the Suicide Squad, so Task Force X have been sent in to do something.
There's so many characters in this one, I have no clue what it's even about.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing.
A part of me, and I mean this sincerely, a part of me wants it to be like Cats, where every 10 minutes it's like, here's this person and their story.
So for reference to, like, it's as the more comic book focused person here, I absolutely love the cast that they went with, not just in the actual casting, but who they chose to be on the team is ridiculous. Yeah. The fact,
like we're not talking C-listers or D-listers. We're talking some Z-listers.
Like, I'm just gonna read you who's in this movie.
Z-list characters we're talking about. Z-list characters.
Yes. I mean characters, not the actors. The cast is
no. Cast is great. Cast is great.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. I mean the characters.
I'm gonna read this out to you guys. I'm just gonna read the superheroes or villains or whoever they are in this movie. Tell me if you have ever heard of them before. So I'm going to start with the easy ones. There's Harley Quinn. Obvious. Everyone, you've heard that one. Rick Flag. He was in the first one.
Yes.
Bloodsport.
Nope.
Actually, yes.
I had heard of them before. It was Idris Elba. Solsoria.
No.
Nope.
Alice Braga's doing that one. Blackguard.
Vaguely.
This is a guy being played by Pete Davidson, which I just, you know what? I don't even know anything about Blackguard, but hey, go ahead. Jai Courtney's back as Captain Boomerang.
Of course, great. He was great.
He was.
TDK.
No.
Nathan
Fillion.
Nathan Fillion. So Amanda Waller's back. Savant.
No.
Being played by Michael Rooker. Peacemaker.
Well, you know, Michael Rooker in a James Bond.
Yeah. Peacemaker.
I know who's playing him, but I don't know who Peacemaker is.
It's John Cena. Like, it's ridiculous.
It was amazing. Like, it was amazing. They kept saying Peacemaker is in this movie, but I just couldn't see him in the trailer. It was so annoying.
James Gunn got his brother in there playing Weasel. So Sean Gunn's playing Weasel.
Shout out to Sean Gunn. Sean Gunn is a really amazing comic actor. If no one has seen Gilmore Girls, he's in Gilmore Girls as this character called Kirk, and he is the best character on the show, and I love him. I love Sean Gunn so much.
Then we got I'm gonna totally butcher this. David Dastmalchian, who's playing Polka Dot Man.
I am aware of Polka Dot Man because I think he was in the list of weird Batman villains in the Lego Batman movie.
Yep, he was. I had heard of him from Batman as well. So then we got the Thinker. I had never heard of the Thinker before.
Is this Peter Capaldi?
Yes, it is.
Hell yeah.
Yes, it is.
Tyler, being played by Storm Reed.
Again, sorry, quick shout out to Peter Capaldi. Beyond being another one of the Doctors, if you ever get a chance to watch a show called The Thick of It, it is the best British, like a weird satirical political comedy. It's by the same people who made Veep. Veep isn't the American remake of this show. It's brilliant. Watch it. Yeah. The Thick of It.
Let's see. We also got Javelin.
Nope.
Played by Flula Borg. We got Mongal by Mai Ling Ning.
Nope.
We got King Shark. Have you heard of King Shark?
I know King Shark.
Of course.
I know King Shark.
Steve Agee is actually playing that. There's actually been lots of people think it was Taika Waititi doing it, but he's in there somewhere.
Taika is an unconfirmed. He's in it, but we don't know who he is yet.
Yeah.
Ratcatcher 2.
I bet. Here's my bet. Here's my weird curveball bet. I think Taika Waititi is going to be playing his character from What We Do in the Shadows. Because why not? You know. I doubt it, but there we go. Now I've said it, and if it's true, I'm gonna look like a genius.
We got Soldado.
No.
By Mauricio Correa. And I swear, if they put in Dog Welder in there, I'm done. That was the biggest like WTF character I've ever seen in a DC property. It's a man who has welding material and welds dead dogs to people.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's really messed up. But this is absolutely great. This is the kind of stuff that I would love to see more of, and this absolutely spells success to me, because this is what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy. You had characters nobody knew or cared about, and you made a great movie out of it. And these are mostly characters nobody knows. So I love that, because it gives him free reign to do what he does best. And I think the part that I heard the best was, like he said, I think it was John Cena who was saying this portion of it. He said it's like a 1970s war movie, but with superheroes. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Sold.
And like, here's the thing: the great thing about having these nobodies, but the cast is nonetheless incredible, is a ton of them are gonna die in this.
Oh yes.
Everyone who isn't, I would say, Harley, King Shark, or Captain Boomerang. I would bet money on those three being safe. And other than that, good luck to you. You're gonna need it.
I reckon Cena's gonna be all right.
I wouldn't, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, he's playing Peacemaker. I assume it can't be that difficult. But anyway, so yeah, Suicide Squad looks good. Excited to see it.
Yep.
Well, tell us, James, what was the big crown jewel of the movies for us?
Well, keeping the theme with John Cena, we also had Little T Black Adam. Just thought I'd mention it. No proper trailer, just The Rock talking over some footage.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? I can't think of. Oh yeah, that was that fucking awesome trailer for the Batman.
You mean the
Holy shit!
No.
It was so good. Matt Reeves, hell yeah! I remember being so annoyed when I saw Joker, and just like all of that negativity has gone away, and I'm just so all in on every single element of this. This is, for me, this is the most I've been excited about any Batman project ever. That isn't a video game.
Gotcha. For me, like, I definitely liked the direction they're going with, because I also put it this way. The part I least like about Batman movies is that they normally throw away the detective angle of Batman.
Yes.
It's always been about, oh, I'm a crime fighter, maybe I'm a knight of some sort, like, really focusing on like the nobility angle and like virtue and such, but they never really play up the fact that he's a smart guy. Like in the DC universe, he's consistently like in the top 5 smartest people. But they never play him up like that at all. But it's one of those things that always kind of annoyed me about it. So I'm excited to see them try to do something different with this character. And I want to see them go down this route. It is very dark, but it definitely, like, based on the trailer alone, I haven't read anything about it. Based on the trailer, it's definitely set in the modern day because you do see a smartphone in there. But the part that told me that this is like they're really going for like gritty realism in this is whenever you see Robert Pattinson without the cowl on and he still has the eyeshadow on.
Oh hell yeah!
Because every other time you see someone do that, they never have the eyeshadow on.
Yep.
They never do.
Exactly.
It's always magically gone.
He looked emo as hell, and I'm so here for it. He looks like Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, and I'm just give me it.
Yeah. Also, can we just talk about the slow orchestral use of Nirvana's "Something in the Way"? So and reimagining Riddler as not this Jim Carrey happy-go-lucky green question mark wearing guy, but like honestly, they're going for like a Zodiac killer vibe. Like this guy means business. He's messed up in the head. He's
The actor playing Riddler is Paul Dano, who's brilliant. Who's a
Oh,
brilliant.
yes, I remember we said that was brilliant months ago.
And I just in seeing this and hearing him talk, I urge anyone, if you can, to go watch There Will Be Blood, where he goes toe to toe with Daniel Day-Lewis in one of the greatest ever acting performances on screen. Daniel's is, but Paul Dano shows up and has to like dominate a scene against Daniel Day-Lewis and succeeds. It's amazing, and you can watch that performance and you can see what he's going for, and I am so excited. He's duct taping over a mayor's face in this film. I love it. I love this trailer so much. I try not to get obsessed with trailers, but I've watched it so many times already.
Dude, I'm the same. Dude, this may be the best trailer I've seen in terms of like just immediately something new, not some not like a trailer for Endgame where I was hyped up and it's like the culmination of 10 years or whatever, like just coming out of nowhere. I've rewatched this trailer seriously 40 different times, probably more than that. And Colin Farrell, and like how unidentifiable he is.
Like I remember because I saw that I was like that's got to be Penguin. But I was like, wait, who is this? Like it was such. That is like okay. That level of makeup has only been done to me one other time where it was like, this is that person. It was with Vice 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, with Christian,
where it was like, he looked like Dick Cheney.
Yeah, I mean, the Rogues Gallery, we knew that they were delving into it because they announced... I don't know if they officially announced that Penguin was in the movie. They said
Cobblepot is, but that he is not. Like it's supposed to be early days for him and for Catwoman, who is obviously played by Zoe Kravitz. Again, great casting.
We'll see.
I think she's fine for it, but
she looks good.
Yeah, it's just like it's supposed to be based more like on year 2 Batman, where like he's been around for a little bit. Like the cops don't really trust him, but they kind of allow him to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Gordon isn't commissioner yet, I don't think. I think he's still like a detective.
Again, another brilliant casting choice, Jeffrey Wright.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey Wright's amazing.
This is one of the best. Like we just talked about a great cast, but in terms of like names, like this is just a great cast in terms of just you see them as the character and you instantly go, "Yep, that's them."
Yep,
and we don't see him in the trailer, but Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Yeah.
We hear him.
We do hear him. Yes.
But Andy Serkis is the best. Is one of the best actors working. Anyway, he can do anything. I just watched 13 Going on 30 earlier today, and he plays a flamboyant camp magazine editor, and he's amazing. Like Andy Serkis is great. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
And who's this guy? This guy Pete Savage, he's in it. I don't know who he's playing. Oh no, this character has been created by Reeves and not appear in DC Comics. He's played by Alex Ferns. He is the commissioner.
He's the current commissioner of the Gotham.
Yeah, the current commissioner, and his character will be in the HBO Max series Gotham PD. So they are like properly they're going all in with this cast going into the world of DC, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I am hell yeah.
I get a okay. This is gonna sound really dumb, but I don't really have anything to go off of this either. I get the feeling that they're gonna include Hush in here in some regard, or at least set him up. I don't know why I get that feeling, but I do get that feeling. It might just be because of the Riddler duct tape mask thing. But it just gives me that vibe. But I don't know.
I mean, Batman's Rose Gallery is more beloved than just about any other hero in all of comics. And Hush, he confronted all of them. So potentially, I mean, Hush has they've never even attempted to do it live action.
Yeah, like no one's done that before, but like I feel like that's also like more of a character you can't really do in one movie, at least accurately. Yeah. I feel like you have to set him up more for that. But yeah, also one thing too is before we kind of move topics, so Carmine Falcone, you know who's playing him?
I did know, but I can't remember now. Say it.
Same. So go ahead.
John Turturro.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, perfect. This is brilliant.
He's got the greasy Italian mobster vibe to a T. Perfect.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see him too. Like, I don't really see him in anything like serious in a very, very long time.
Same. We've danced around this long enough, so I'm just gonna say it. How incredible and jaw-dropping is the moment where some like I don't know, just thugs, whatever, are like, "Who are you supposed to be?" to Pattinson's Batman, and he just caves the dude's face in. Like that man's face is mush. He's in traction now.
Yep.
There's other cast people in it. There's Barry Keoghan is in the film, and Barry Keoghan, I can't like describe him without like because he was the lead in The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which no one saw. He was in Dunkirk, but I don't know his name. Like he's just a weird faced dude, and he's in this film as well. This cast is so good.
Yep.
And we haven't even really talked about Robert that much. We talked about sort of what he looks like. Mm-hmm. Robert Pattinson, man, in 12 years, we have gone from sparkly vampire to Batman. What a career he's had.
Yeah, he's done a magnificent job. His acting has... Anyone, I know you don't like this film like I do, James, but anyone who doubts his acting chops can go watch The Lighthouse and then tell me he doesn't have acting capability.
Yeah, no, it's a good performance. Just the film's a potential sack of shit. I always say Good Time is the one that people should see.
Good Time's another one. That's another one for sure.
And also Lost City of Z, or Zed, whatever you say it. He's just good. Rob's just good in everything that isn't vampire movies.
All right. So I guess it's time to talk about the video game side of things. Unless there's something I'm missing. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I will say, too, before all this had happened, all this movie news, I'm actually really tempted right now to start my free trial for HBO Max. So I can,
when I'm on vacation,
like,
I am.
Just to watch all the DC stuff right now. So
I need to... Everyone's been talking up the Harley Quinn show to me, so I want to
that's great. Yeah, no, I
heard it's
we
great.
don't have HBO Max isn't available in the UK. It's aired with one of our cable channels. I love that show.
They got a lot of classics on there. I was going through a little earlier, and I was just like, they really do have a lot of classic shows on there, and not just shows.
Do they have like the '90s Batman the animated series?
Actually, I don't know off the top of my head if they have that one, but I know they do have the last appearance of Adam West, in his not acting role, but like as a voice actor, doing the 1960s version of Batman in an animated movie.
Love it.
So it's I think it's versus Two-Face. I think that's what that's one for him. So all right, moving on to video games. So as we got some cool stuff to talk about there. I want to start talking about Gotham Knights first, because that one I was a little. It's been a little confusing to start off because they definitely try to lean into the Arkham series, because this, first of all, is not being done by Rocksteady. Gotham Knights is not being touched by Rocksteady. This is one by WB Montreal, same guys who made Arkham Origins. They're going to be working on Gotham Knights going forward,
which is a very good game, and people
extremely underrated.
And Batman Arkham Origins is a fantastic game.
And it is super annoying that game cannot be purchased digitally. If you somehow track down the disc, it's backward compatible on Xbox.
Yep.
But
that's the thing. I want to play that game. I didn't get to finish it because I was playing on PlayStation right before the Xbox One and the Xbox One came out. I was playing on PlayStation 3. Like I tried to play it all in one night. Because every time I always had a problem because every Arkham game always tries to do everything all in one night, and I always feel like I'm rushed to play it. Because I'm on a timer here. I only got to the end of the night. so I tried to play that game all in one night as far as I could. I got to the Joker reveal. I got past that. I got about 2/3 into the game, I want to say, before I just had to stop. So,
did you get to the one bad day sequence?
I don't recall off the top of my head. It's been a while. It's been 7 years.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's been a very interesting game. So, moving forward, talking about this one. So, this is not in the Arkham universe. So, spoiler alert for a 5-year-old game. Arkham Knight ends, Batman dies, or is heavily hit to that, depending on if you go for the real ending or whatever. They make that a big point in that film, or not film, the game. Yeah. This game is going to take over.
Not only did Batman die, he was masked.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, this particular game, they hint that he's dead. They're really trying to pick up the mantle there, but it is confirmed not in the same universe, so things are different. One major thing: Oracle's not paralyzed.
Although confusingly, it mentions in the press release that she's gone through years of recovery. So,
yeah.
Anyways, it's just a funny thing.
I mean, where this is also the same universe where your back can be broken, but you can come back and be totally cool. Or
yes,
or you could also it's also the same franchise where you could put on a robotic brace for your knee and still kick open sheer concrete with your foot and not break your foot.
And also, Jason Todd is in this, and he's been stated to have been resurrected. He was killed by Joker, and he's been brought back to life. So there you go.
So there's gonna be four playable characters. There's been a lot of rumors about this being a gas game or for games as a service. Definitely get the vibe that's possible. I don't know yet, at least right now, because they're talking about a leveling system for your character, and it's like,
I don't think it's as much as people are making it out to be.
No,
I'll say that. Like, people are making this out to be more so than it really is.
This isn't like Avengers, and this isn't like like Anthem or Destiny or whoever else. Like, this is definitely more like, okay, you level up your character. We may introduce DLC for more missions or higher level villains to go after, or something like that. I could see them doing something along those lines. I'm not sure. Like, if it goes down to equipment, then we might have something to talk about, but I'm not quite sure yet. Sure. So, kind of moving around that point, you're going to have 4 playable characters. We really only saw in depth Batgirl, which is definitely more like a successor to Batman playstyle-wise.
Yes, for sure.
It definitely comes off more like that. You're going to be able to play as Red Hood, which a lot of people love Red Hood for various reasons. They also play as Nightwing, and it is confirmed it is Tim Drake Robin.
Yes, not bratty little punk-faced Damian Wayne.
Suck it, babe! Although I think what throws it off is his outfit looks very close to Damian's.
It does. So, it does.
Yeah,
it absolutely does.
I think that's why it threw everybody off. But definitely, from what I've read so far, he's going to be the more stealthy, tech-savvy one of the group.
Right. Right.
That's Red Robin's my pick, at least going initially into this. Mainly just because I like Tim Drake as a Robin.
Nightwing.
Yeah.
I'm torn between Nightwing and Batgirl right now. Both of those look really fun to play. And they did confirm two-player co-op is in. Not 4-player or 3-player, but you can play in 2-player co-op. And confirmed villains so far include Mr. Freeze and the Court of Owls.
Yep. I really don't know anything about Court of Owls. I just never was interested in it, so I just didn't bother even reading anything related to it.
I know snippets, and like from they appear in Gotham for a bit, and I've seen. I can't remember. It's like Family Legacy. It's the one where Damien like gets discovered, like that animated film. I remember, and the Court of Owls is a big part of that. But I've never like read any of the comics or any of like the big stuff about the Court of Owls.
Yeah, at that point where Court of Owls was getting popular, I was getting out of comics, so I kind of just didn't bother. My understanding is it's kind of like a League of Shadows, but more like Eyes Wide Shut kind of vibe.
Honestly, you're not that far off. They're a secret society that like most people don't even know they exist, and supervillains warn like don't even mention their name because it doesn't matter. Like if you mention their name, they'll kill you. They operate on a very, very, very ethereal level, and they employ undead assassins called Talon, who are ridiculously hard to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like their ties are to like the absolute richest of the rich.
Yes,
which is why when Bruce Wayne discovered them, he was so disgusted because his parents were alleged to be involved with them.
Yeah, which brings me to another thing, by the way. And I understand. I was one of the people who was so confused with everything. Like, oh, Bruce is dead, but we're not picking up from Arkham Knight, but it looks just like him. Like. There's no way he's actually dead in this, right?
No way.
No, he has 100% been captured by the Owls or deep cover investigation, something like that. They're not doing this. They're not taking the opportunity of a new Batman universe, but then picking up where Knight ended. And I infamously don't like the ending of Arkham Knight, but that's another thing. Honestly, I think Gotham Knights looks pretty good. I want to see more, but I can see it being a lot of fun, just leveling up your character or taking on supervillains as the Bat Family or playing in co-op or whatever. It should be really fun. I'm kind of miffed that they got the Bat Family, but Catwoman isn't in there. But who knows, like, DLC or further down the line or whatever. True. It's possible.
Yep. So, I mean, that's more of an interesting thing for me. I'm looking forward to this game. Like, it's got me interested.
Yeah.
But other game we got to see finally a first look at, really, not gameplay or anything like that, but we got to see like a teaser trailer. This gives us a vibe of what they're going for. Suicide Squad from Rocksteady.
Hey, they still exist as a company.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
In over 5 years since these people talk.
I've got a fun story about Rocksteady. So. one day at the cinema, this dude came in wearing a Rocksteady shirt, and I commented, I was like, "Hey, I love their games," and he went, "Oh yeah, thanks," and I went, "Do you work for Rocksteady?" And he said, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm one of the creative directors." And then I sort of I sort of kept that in the back of my mind. I sort of asked him a bunch of quick-fire questions about like what film he's seeing, where he wants to sit. Very obvious, very easy questions. And then I just said, "So is the next game a Suicide Squad game?" And he went, "Well, you know, we have." Wait a minute. I got so close.
Nice try.
Seconds away from getting something.
Amazing.
And then he just went, "What am I doing? I can't do this."
Amazing. But so it obviously was, as it turns out.
Yeah.
This is leaning more into the games as a service stuff, as far as we can tell. Like a little more so. 4-player co-op, and the others are always around as bots. If you don't have other players with you. The 4 revealed so far are Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark. Man, it is a year for King Shark. That dude is doing well.
And not only that, do you know who's voicing King Shark in the game?
I don't.
Oh wait, Samoa Joe, right?
It's Samoa Joe, WWE wrestler.
Oh wow, that's something. Tara Strong is doing
really
Harley
good
Quinn.
pick, by the way.
Yeah. And this is
Samoa
a continuation.
Right.
Samoa
So
Joe
this is
looks like Samoa Joe in real life looks like what a shark would look like if they were turned into a human.
Yeah,
it's
no,
really bizarre.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. All of them are. Even Captain Boomerang. I thought like, yeah, this is a Bogan, all right. this is good.
Very good, Sam. That's a fantastic use of that word.
Thank you. I've been saving it. So yeah, confusingly enough, this one, the bright, colorful game where Deadshot has changed skin color and King Shark and Captain Boomerang are back from the dead, because spoiler alert, in the Arkham universe, if you read the files and everything, they're dead. They're dead in those games, but it doesn't matter. So this one is a sequel to Arkham Knight somehow. It takes place in Metropolis. Brainiac appears to be involved. Oh, and yeah, you're killing the Justice. Yep. That's the game.
And introducing Rocksteady's long-awaited main character, the Sun. Her main appearance.
After all these years.
It makes sense. King Shark, could have been dead, or Deadshot could have been dead, or whatever. Who cares at this point? For all we know, the Sun was dead.
It's just funny. That's all I'm saying. It's like I'll roll with it. And I'll be honest, like, I'm concerned about the games as a service elements, obviously, but I'm kind of on board with how whack this premise is. Like, yeah, give me some ridiculous boss battles where you're trying to get Flash or Wonder Woman or whatever. Now, I will say, and I'm interested in what you two think of this, it does feel kind of weird in that, like, I don't know, they did all this story-based stuff with Batman. It feels like Rocksteady didn't know what to do, and they're like, yeah, just kill them all. Just kill them. Just get rid of them at this point. So that's interesting, but it could be fun. It could be compelling.
What if they were trying to go for like an Injustice vibe here? Like, as just a curiosity here, because the theme is kill the Justice League. What if it was, it's Justice League with evil? Like, I don't know.
I'll be honest. Speaking as someone who likes the Injustice concept a lot more than others, I hope not. Like, I hope it's something other than that. And even though they're calling it Kill the Justice League, I'm almost wondering if you're not going to be killing them, if you're going to be ending up, like, knocking them out or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I have a lot of weird...
If they were doing something like that, like, I could see them saying, "Oh yeah, kill Green Lantern. We have another Green Lantern in the back end." Like,
yeah, right.
Oh, we can't really kill Superman. We gotta knock him out or what we can in the meantime. Wonder Woman.
Same as Wonder Woman, yeah.
Like, Batman's already dead. So
ostensibly, maybe he comes back for this, and then you got to get him again. Like,
yeah.
it's weird. Go ahead.
My prediction for a twist is that Lex Luthor is going to be the one funding this Suicide Squad mission.
I can see it. It makes sense. It would make sense.
And then, it's that at the 75% marker, you're just like, oh yeah, we're done. Lol, no, capitalism's got ya. Like, something like that.
It makes sense. So here's one thing that, we're not going to be playing this game for a while. They put it's next gen only. No, they said, and I respect them for this. I do. No, companies don't usually give release years this far out. They said it's a 2022 game. And I respect them for that. I applaud them. Okay, yeah, you didn't say, oh, it's coming when it's ready. Nah, it's 2 years out. We'll see you then.
Which
fair enough.
At E3 next year, they can be like, you've waited, here's some gameplay.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And also, I know those are the 4 they revealed right now. They're probably going to do additional characters as part of, the games as a service stuff, right? They're not going to be just 4 for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So for me, little things I noticed from the trailer in particular. One random thing, Captain Boomerang has only one mutton chop. It looks like a boomerang. It's only on one side of his face. It's just a random little tidbit as someone who had mutton chops. You just notice little things. So, 2, they really kind of showcased more traversal options, and this is what I've been thinking about a lot recently. The gameplay is going to be more run and gun kind of stuff than combat. At least in terms of melee combat, they'll really be focusing more on that aspect. I mean, they can give King Shark a gun. If there was anybody who did not need a firearm, it was King Shark. He's gonna get
someone give that shark a gun.
But yeah,
I just like that they seem to have made a Suicide Squad.
But you cut off for me, James.
This seems to look like a Suicide Squad version of Sunset Overdrive.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, actually, that is a very apt comparison, and that's not a bad thing in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sunset Overdrive was fun but not good.
I thought it was good for what it was. So
it's good, but it's not you're not going to be you have to play Sunset Overdrive. It's really fun.
It'll be interesting. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I was just saying, Sunset Overdrive is the kind of game where it's really good when you have it, but you're not going to go really out of your way to find it.
Yeah. That's fair. And I think what's going to be interesting is how they marry the gunplay with the boss fights, in terms of how you're taking on the Justice League or other bosses or making your way to them, but also you probably need to stick together and work as a group. I'm definitely more iffy on this one than I am Gotham Knights. If I had to compare it, right now I'm at a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10 for Gotham Knights, and I'm at a 6 out of 10 for Suicide Squad. But I'm interested. It's a zany concept. So
the thing that we have to remember is that it is a combat game being developed by Rocksteady, who basically invented the modern way that games do combat.
Yeah, especially melee games.
Very fair. Very fair.
At its very worst, it's going to be the Batman combat.
No. The gameplay, Rocksteady doesn't do bad gameplay. That's the thing. So yeah, fair point, James. Fair point.
Also, too, I've also focused more on traversal aspects for them. For what I could figure, Harley Quinn's going to be a little more traditional Batman traversal. Not in terms of gliding or anything, but grapple hook, jump, hit something, that kind of vibe in terms of movement. It looks like Captain Boomerang's got a short range teleportation device, which is kind of awesome. I'm very interested by this. That's as a concept for him. I'm actually I'm excited to kind of play. Deadshot has a jetpack. So there's that, and moving away from that, King Shark is probably going to play, from what I could figure, a little more like Hulk, jump, run, climb up a wall, that kind of thing.
Did you catch? It's easy to miss. He doesn't just have a machine gun; he has 2 giant machetes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love it.
I will bring it up famously. You know what King Shark needed? Melee weapon.
Yes, ignoring the fact he has claws and teeth.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's a crazy brand
I
new world
just
out
want.
there.
I just want. I know you haven't seen it, Ivan, but I just want like the Harley Quinn TV show version of Bane to be in this, because that version of Bane is the best version of Bane.
Yeah. I'm excited. I still want to see it. My understanding is, at least in that show, they treat him more like a henchman. Like, he was like, a henchman who's like slightly skirting around a rank of villain.
Well, no. He is a full-fledged member of the Legion of Doom in the Harley Quinn show, but his voice is it's a jokey version of Tom Hardy's voice.
Mm-hmm.
So he talks like this, but he gets annoyed at the tiniest things. So imagine like a really intense voice, like I will be annoyed at Todd from Berry Blast. Like it's just it's
Nice.
so good.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think those the two main game things they did, right? I don't think anything else.
Yep. That's the games, and so
Big stuff.
I just want to say, like, as we wrap this up, because we can go over a little bit for this. Is it just me, or did DC come out of nowhere with the best digital event this summer?
I will say first and foremost, because people said, "Oh, yeah, it's so much stuff. Marvel sucks." They skipped last year. DC didn't announce anything last year. So they literally just been sitting on stuff. So just keep that in mind before we could go any further.
Sure.
But I will say yes, I totally agree.
Do they do nothing?
I mean, DC didn't show up at all. No Comic-Con, no private event, nothing.
No.
They basically said, "Be excited for Joker. Leave us alone." That's pretty much all last year was.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
and
this
then they made
was
$1 billion.
great.
Fair enough.
This year was great. Like I love them just saying, "Okay, we're gonna take the weekend. Here's one thing after another. Bam, 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 bam. Just a couple hours, just spread out for hype." I was like, "Yes, good, finally. Like, this is what I wanted to see," and it made me excited, and I was hopeful, and it was like, this is what the Summer Game Fest should have been, except like over a month as opposed to like a weekend. Like, this is why, like, I've expressed this on Twitter. I do not like how Summer Game Fest turned out this year, because it was basically just like, oh, we have an excuse not to announce what we should have announced 3 months ago. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Console prices and release dates. So they really are not. It's very frustrating to me because this was a great example of how to handle a digital event. And they did so excellently. And to see how everyone else is shaken out, it's really kind of sad. Like, this is a little different than Xbox doing an event or whoever else doing an event. It's a little different than that, but it's very refreshing to see a nice positive event coming out of this. So.
Yeah, it was very upbeat. Everything about it was very fun, happy, and they let you know ahead of time, hey, here's the schedule. Tune in for what you're interested in. Like, that was really appreciated.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's stuff like that, and I've been really frustrated with kind of how the summer's turned out. At least in terms of the gaming geeky news stuff, because oh yeah, your favorite movies you've been looking forward to delayed indefinitely. You're probably not going to see them this year, like King Kong versus Godzilla,
which merch is leaking for, and we have yet to see an official trailer. Yeah. But
So anyway, that's kind of my whole spiel. I kind of done my whole thing, so I got nothing else. So,
James, you got anything else?
No, not really. Yeah, I'm just sort of hyped for the Batman.
Honestly, when we finish this, I'm gonna go get dinner. I'm gonna watch that trailer another 3 or 4 times.
And also, I'm also just jazzed because in less than 2 days, I will have seen Tenet. Or maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to get it.
I'm looking forward to your review of that. I am looking forward to your review of that. Oh, and Micah pointed out in our chat, thank you, Micah, New Mutants is actually finally happening.
Yep.
Well, maybe not.
Who knows? Last minute pulled from theaters.
I will tell you it's a real movie after the credits.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got it yet. It hasn't come to cinema yet. We haven't got the file yet. We've got Tenet. We haven't got New Mutants yet. I probably shouldn't say that. I've said it now.
It's too late. It's out there in the ether. It is there. Sound grab. Grab those sound bites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a really nice, refreshing show to kind of talk about pretty much all positive stuff the entire way. Like, it's been well, sort of the beginning.
Mostly.
I consider the first one as more neutral than anything else. Like, it's something that's happening to two companies with a lot of money, and we don't really care. So
no, I was talking about my hatred of the Justice League.
All right, so we're gonna do our outros here. The kind of the plan for the next few episodes coming out is we're gonna kind of slowly introduce people back to the show with different roles and such. So that'll be a little more fun for you guys. I'm very thankful for you guys showing up today. Thank you guys for watching us on the show tonight. Like I said, the plan is this show will be uploaded to Spotify and other platforms tomorrow. At least that's the plan for now. It's going to be labeled everything going forward as Season 4, Episode whatever, until the end of the season, which is going to be roughly around the same time next year. So that's kind of the idea, at least. So thank you guys for tuning in. James, where can good people find you, sir?
The good people and the bad people can find me on the tweets at James_S Wilson. Come talk to me about professional wrestling, Radiohead, why... because I hate the Justice League, I'm a beta cuck soy boy, all that jazz. There's nothing wrong with liking soy. It's good for everyone, including you.
All right, and Sam?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Samuel Tolbert, that's TOLBERT, and you can find everything I write on Windows Central, Android Central, and iMore. Appreciate you reading it because this stuff never ends. We're about to go into September next week, and we still don't know console prices or release dates. God help me.
Oh, we didn't talk about Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah. Call of Duty. It's happening.
Call of Duty is it a video game? I will be able to answer that question next week.
Nope. It is a Netflix series.
There we go.
Call of Duty Netflix series.
I'd really like a Call of Duty Netflix series. I think that'd be really good.
Like 4 episodes.
But only if they do it like only if they do it like the Black Mirror, like choose your own adventure. But it's like but you only choose whether you kill like this man or that man.
Well, actually, that I better not say anything else.
That could be interesting. Oh, you killed this one guy. Oh yeah, this other guy showed up. He died because you chose to kill this guy first.
Let's revisit this conversation next week. I'll say that.
You do all of that.
No, my favorite nameless person.
They're all completely nothing, and then one of them, it leads you off to like a 90-minute movie, his family grieving.
Oh my god! Actually, that'd be really cool. No, so random Call of Duty pitch. So you play with a squad. There's like 9 people in your squad total. You do play. It's a Netflix series. You have to choose who you like. You're playing the game. You're playing the game. You're watching the show. You're choosing who you shoot first. The order in which you shoot people determines what you get. So like the idea there, you have to make sure one person survives, and it's almost completely random. If you get the right person on your team to survive, you get a 90-minute movie, and you don't have to make any decisions.
That's banging.
It's like, yeah.
Or if you get it completely wrong, you, like the real person, has to pay for 9 real funerals out of pocket.
Oh no! Worst idea. You get enlisted into the army. Sponsored by the United States military.
And people say we're not topical. I forgot to mention that also I have been writing again. Isn't that great? It's been years. I'm writing on level 1 gaming. I've been doing a tiny bit of film criticism and news, but a proper review for Tenet will be coming. My first written film review in 3 years. Ain't that something?
That has been a while. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a good show. I'm Ivan Seiler. You can find me on Twitter, Xbox, whatever. Anchorman V2. Thank you guys for tuning in.